Hey Patreon, once again guys, thanks for your support. So I'm going to go ahead and break down this offense, which is going to be the New York Jets offense. I'm using the Eagles as my team primarily because I like to have obviously better teams with better elite players to be efficient with it. One adjustment I do want to share with you is I'm still running pretty much a lot of the same plays, except the only difference is I'm going to be swapping out one of the plays, which was the shake halfback corner. The juice wasn't worth the squeeze with this particular play, so I swapped it out for this play, which is doubles post. This gives me a cover 3 beater that I can actually light a person up for a one-play touchdown. But also, I've got some nice crossers with this, and how I set it up is just one quick adjustment. We're still going to leave everything else the same. We're going to run this play basically against cover 1 type coverages. But you could use this for man coverages and stuff like that, and we kind of make adjustments. Now, first and foremost, anytime I see a defense like this, where when I'm using my inside zone and I see my guys lined up straight over, this means I'm going to get a touchdown. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into some plays that are very big on getting touchdowns. The stick play is really, really good for touchdowns if I got press coverage, because you're going to watch the safeties are going to rotate. One's going to go into the center, one's going to drop down, and wherever the guy is rotating away, that's where I'm going to go and throw the ball and get a touchdown. Now we're going to go ahead and back this ball up a little bit. Just give ourselves a little bit more runway. So let's go ahead, respot the ball. We're going to drop it back at the 40-yard line, 45-yard line right there is a baseline. Now, if I got basically off coverage, what I can do is I can use this particular play, which I use stock, and it's a sail dig against any kind of man coverages. And really this whip with the outside tight end is always going to get separation from that. And that's going to be a very easy check down that I'm going to look to. So if I see a guy that's spamming a lot of man coverages, I'll go ahead and look to this whip. If the whip gets covered up for some reason, I can actually go ahead and hit this deep in route. Problem with the deep in route is that you can have a whole defender that actually could fall into that zone, and you want to be concerned about that. So let's just go ahead and jump into this one more time. One adjustment you could do is you could do a deep comeback route by Smith on the backside. And this will actually give you less defenders in the area to go ahead and cover that up. So this is a really good play to have in your arsenal as a quick snap play. And let's see if we can get the dig. See how the defender is actually kind of in that passing lane. That's where that route could be a little bit shaky that you want to be concerned about. If you got press look like this, obviously once again you could take a shot. One thing I've been doing recently when I'm labbing is I'll actually go ahead and use a play action, and I'll streak up, I'll fade up both my outside guys. And the reason I do the fade action or the play action is that it does give me just a slightly better release with those presses. So if I know a guy's playing a lot of man press coverages, I can do this. Now if I get off coverage, I'm going to switch up and go into the outs play, because that defender that's over the deep outs has the responsibility of playing over the top. Now, one of the things they'll do is they'll do a curl route or a streak route, and the reason I want to do that is I want to preoccupy that slot defender. But all I'm going to do is just go ahead and pop this little out route against man coverage. It's just so easy to do that. One other adjustment, let's just go back to that again. What you could do is you could do this play, which is going to be a play action read. You can run it stock. Look at the whip route underneath. It's always going to get separation. So that's what I really love about this particular play. But I'm usually using this play action read for plays such as cover 2 type shells or cover 6 type shells. Play action cross is a really good play to go and use in your scheme. This is good against man coverages, in particular 2-man. And this route right here is always going to toast that stuff. And how I build this play when I'm using play action, using the play action post corner, is I do a deep comeback route to the backside, because a lot of opponents, what they'll do is you're going to chase the red route, which is going to be the deep crossing route, and that's going to give you an opportunity to go ahead and hit this deep comeback route for 17, 15-yard gains, or sometimes you can get more. So it really stresses out your opponent's defense when you do that. Now here's an adjustment. If a guy's showing me cover 3 or he's playing type of cover 3, what I'll do is I'll run this. This is my cover 3 beater. but this is also going to provide me with a read on the backside. I do a deep comeback route because those toast man coverage, the defenders have to play over the top of it. So you know, that's one of those things you can take a look at. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit the deep crosser. All right, so this is, you know, opportunity for a one-play touchdown. I like doing that against cover 3 match. What I don't like about that particular play is that it does take a long time to develop. Here's another adjustment too I like to do if I got a guy who does press man coverage. I'll just jump into sail dig and just do a fade route. So I've got 2 defenders basically attacking up, and then the smart play is always go ahead and attack the wide receiver on the side where the safety rotates into the single high safety. So that's usually what you want to do with that. So we're going to set this up, quick snap it, see how the safety rotates up. All right, so he's out of position, and we're just going to go ahead and just rack that and get an easy touchdown. So anytime I see someone jump into cover 1 press, I'm lighting him up for a big play. Other plays you could take a look at would be basically mesh spot, but I'm going to show you this play. This is play action wide receiver cross. This is more of my zero blitz type play. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and drag up my tight end, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my line protection and slide off to the right. And the reason I do that is that the inside running back is going to come inside for the fake, the play fake, and then he's going to protect off the left side. So I need to protect the right side by slide protecting right. My first read is going to be this route right here. Let's see if we can go ahead and catch this. That's going to be my touchdown opportunity. Let's go in instant replay, and you got basically a mesh concept underneath it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for this route and see if we can get past the defender. Now I've got a very fast wide receiver, so you probably can't get away with this all the time. But what I'll do is once he breaks it up and once he gets even with the guy and I know he's got him out of position, I'm just going to go and lob it up to the outside. But take a look at the concepts underneath. If the defender actually chases that, I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the drag. And I've also got this crosser on the backside, which will be completely cleared out. So against man coverages, it's a really good play. Conversely, you got mesh. Same concept. Difference is that now you got a wheel with the running back that you can actually hit against your opponent. And this allows you to go and hit your opponent for a huge play on the backside. And you can just check it down to underneath route, which is going to be the mesh concept. So I primarily, when I'm making these reads, I'm really looking to Brown more than anything else, just because he's just a higher percentage pass, and those lobs, those running backs are going to be something that you could potentially miss. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that. Let's see if we can get the lob on the running back. All right, so let's see here. He does have positioning, and we're just going to go and just chuck it right over the top and get yourself a big play. So those are some really easy plays that you can jump into. Other plays that we could jump into is that we can get into this concept, which is going to be a shallow cross. This is a really good play, quick snap play. It basically gives you a spot route and also the shallow cross route. But this shallow cross, for some particular reason, just gets super naked underneath. It's just an easy quick snap play to go and jump into. And I don't really run a lot of any other plays. I don't run the bingo or play action boot. One thing I do like to do is stick spacing. And how I run stick spacing is the following. I like to curl up both my guys. And if I've got basically a back, that's more kind of a cover 3 beater more than anything else, but I'll go ahead and throw that play like so. Another adjustment I can do is I can do the wide zone. Not the wide zone. Would be this play. Curl under. And how I like to run this here play is I like to drag up the tight end and actually go ahead and curl up the one guy. The curl route is available, but what makes this play really tick is that corner route on the backside. So these are basically cover 1 beaters, man beaters. Obviously, if you got a guy who's running a lot of heavy blitzes, you want to make sure that you're making progressions a little bit easier. But these are plays you can jump into. So let's go and jump into cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4 beaters. So guys, we're going to jump into some cover 2 beaters. Not a lot of cover 2 beaters, but really you don't need a lot of cover 2 beaters to catch your opponent off guard. We're going to go ahead and, whenever time I see, a defender that's actually shaded on the outside of the slot defender, and then 2 defenders shaded on the outside of the outside receiver, shaded on the inside on the slot defender, then 2 high safeties. I'm reading cover 2. for the most part. One thing you can do, this is not very high percentage, but what you can do is you can basically go ahead and take your slot receiver and just go ahead and put him on a streak with the goal of letting the defender actually get past you and basically go ahead and hitting that route right there. One problem with that is that it does become a contested ball, so you can get yourself in some trouble. Now, my preference is to do this particular play, which is going to be play action read. And a lot of times what happens is with play action read, all you're going to do is you're going to streak up that crossing route by the tight end. And a lot of times this crossing route by the tight end doesn't get covered. You just do a little inside pass lead, and if you got a good catch in traffic guy, they actually can get an easy completion. So that's my preferred play against cover 2, because it's just a very easy read. And a lot of times you can actually go ahead and get those easy completions. Another play that I threw in this scheme is actually out of the gun Y off trio, and it's going to be the shock H option. If I got guys running cover 2 against me, I'm going to go and jump into it, and I'm going to streak up the tight end. And what happens is the tight end, once again, is available, but the problem is that the smash concept on the right of the tight end out of the shake H option is also going to cause some strain to the defense. So we're going to rotate the guys over, watch Goddard, but watch Watkins on the other side. Actually, he gets into his zone, but you can see I could just pop right over the middle of the field. The problem is that if you keep going to the same area over the middle of the field against cover 2, your opponent can take that away from you. So that's why you want to have this play in your arsenal. So if I got a too high safety, watch Watkins. Goddard actually is going to get picked up, but Watkins actually is given an opportunity where you can actually get a completion. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that again. We should. Motion this guy over. Watch Watkins. Let's wait for that defender to kind of flip his back. And here's your aggressive catch opportunity. A lot of times what happens is they'll actually carry over. Here's another play that actually is a stock audible. It's out of the gun Y trips. It's shock H option off to the right. And it should have a similar concept. So we're just going to streak up the guy. And we'll have 2 routes that can essentially go ahead and cause issues. So we had the middle seam route, and then we also had the corner, the fade route that I was looking at. So let's go ahead and jump into that again. So we're going to streak this guy up. Got him streaked up. The seam is going to be my area, but you've also got this route to the backside of Watkins. So you can jump into these plays interchangeably with cover 2 and actually catch your opponent off guard. This play actually works really good against cover 2. I like to go and streak up the tight end once again, and basically just kind of stresses out the verticals, and a lot of times that tight end is not going to be covered. So this really does a lot of tight end type coverage against stick. And then the last play we'll take a look at is we play action cross. If I expect a guy running a lot of cover 2 against me, I'm going to go ahead and do a route where I'm going to go ahead and put that guy on a route like so, which is going to be a crossing route. But this allows me to go and attack my opponent on both areas of the field. So let's just see if we can jump onto it. Watch the route. So I've got basically the crossing route that I can hit, but also I've got this deep post that I can hit against my opponent. And the reason why I actually have that streak out there is I need to pull that safety away from the post. So if my opponent chases basically the crosser, I've got that post that I can throw above him. So you can see right here that the crosser actually comes down. One other thing you can do too to try to pull down a defender is not go ahead and do the delayed. You can do something like so. So I've got an in route on the back side. That's going to pull down the flat defender, and then that's going to open up this little area right here that you can throw into. So just a bad pass right there. Let's try this again. Right, so it looks like this might be, I'm going to be looking for that crosser over the top. So I'm coming off the edge. I'm waiting for those routes to develop. So that's the only problem with running these particular concepts, is that they just take longer to develop. So if he's getting any kind of block shot against you, or you get a defender like that, it just takes a little bit longer. I'd actually throw that ball early than I wanted to. Really, I'm jumping into the shock option, or I'm going to jump into the gun trips H option to try to abuse my opponent with cover 2. Those are probably the best plays you can go and jump into, and most players nowadays don't play cover 2 when they're playing defense. All right, so guys, we're going to take a look at cover 3 coverages for this scheme. And basically when I see a single high safety, I'm thinking cover 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this base play, which is going to be the double post. The reason I jumped into a different team defense is I want to show you some press looks and how you can attack press. But this is how I like to run the double post against a cover 3 high shells. I'm going to go ahead and take Smith and put him in the deep comeback route. I'm going to immediately look at the defender that's going to be floating on the backside and kind of make my progressions from there. So let me just go ahead and go into this replay and kind of show you what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to go ahead and make progressions. Now, if I see a three high shell like this, a single high safety, and I'm going to watch this guy. And if this guy bites, I know I've got this deep comeback route available to me for an easy completion, but I've also got this crossing route that I can hit for a one-play touchdown. Now, the problem playing against the Chiefs is that you got one of the best defensive linemen in Chris Jones, but you can see how this guy kind of carries. I've got this route right here where I can pick up 17 yards. Let's see if we can pop the route over the top on the backside. Let's see if we can get Watkins. See how this guy floats out? Once this guy floats out, I want to check this down to the running back route and then look for the crosser for the tight end. So let's just go ahead and show you my keys when I'm seeing three high shells in cover 4 or cover 3. When this guy floats out, that means that this route is dead, and he's probably playing an over-the-top coverage. So he's going to float up and cut off this crossing route that I've got by my speedy wide receiver. But you can see that this crossing route on the backside is actually going to open up. So let's just go ahead and see if we can do this again, and then we'll jump into some other plays that we can use. So this guy, he carries and floats. Here's your touchdown opportunity. If the guy carries with the crosser, you can actually open up for a big touchdown because it's some type of matching concept or cover 1. So we're just going to watch the defender, and if he carries, here's your touchdown. Almost got that completed. Just got a block shed with Chris Jones. So let's just go ahead and see if we can do it again. So the guy carries. Here's your touchdown. And this is such an easy route for easy play, touchdown opportunity. So this is what I throw into my scheme. But really what I'm looking for is the crossing route more than anything else, and then the check down with the tight end. Not the tight end with the running back. But this crossing route, it actually gets in a sweep part of the zone with cover 3 too, because everything else gets cleared out. So that's it basically stretches your opponent in multiple different places. He's going to have a hard time with it. Sail dig is really good against any kind of like matching coverages, and really it's about just checking it down with a running back and just picking up 5 or 6 yards. But what's cool about sail dig against cover 3, depending on the coverages, you've got that dig route on the backside that you can hit. And that actually is kind of nice to actually have that in your back pocket that you can hit against your opponent. Another play I like to use is this play, which is going to be play action read. And what I do is I streak up the tight end. And that's, really the primary goal is I'm going to look at the whip route first, see if I got outside leverage. If I do, I'm going to go ahead and check it down or check it up to the deep comeback route, because that should get leverage against that. And then I've also got this post route that will clear it out by the tight end that I can go ahead and just underthrow it and actually get that area right there. So that you're basically hitting your opponent in all different types of areas, flat routes and all that kind of stuff. They're going to have a really hard time with it. Outs is a play that I used to use a lot against cover 3, and one of the adjustments I like to do is just to do a little smoke route. This will pull the defender and allow me to go ahead and attack my opponent on the out. So that's just a thing I like to do. Also, the other play I've got is play action post cross, deep comeback route. And what I wanted to do is I want to go ahead and take that check and release and actually put that guy in an out route. First read is going to be the out route, but then I've got the crosser right above it. So if defenders pull with the out route, I can go and hit this route on the backs, the crossing route over the top of it. I want to go ahead and take my first read as quickly as possible because that out route can turn into a nice little chunk of yardage. And if he starts carrying with the crossing route and that out route's basically hit up, I can do the deep comeback route to the backside. So that's another play that I would actually use against cover 3. Mesh spot. Great play against using cover 3. We're just going to snap it. We're going to look at the running back first. Running back should clear out, but what's going to happen is this little check down with the draggers available to you. And if you got a guy that's playing a lot of cover 3 match against you, what you can do is you can streak up that spot route. That will carry the cover 3 shell above it. And what that does is it opens this up on the back side of it against anybody that's running a lot of cover 3 match against you. So I'll blend in on like first downs. Spot is a concept because this allows me to go and check down underneath. So he might be playing hard flats. So I can basically hit that route right there. I've got the other other route I can check it down to underneath. Let's jump into this. Watch Brown over the middle of the field. If the defenders float down and play the hitches, they do. You can hit that route right over the middle of the field. He gets in between the coverages. I don't really look to the corner route. It's just really not something I'm going to be looking to with that concept. Shallow cross, run it stock. And basically we're going to look to Watkins. A lot of times these route concepts are going to push everybody up, and Watkins will be available for you for an easy completion. I'll actually run shallow cross to against where I'm going to go ahead and take that crossing route and put him on a flat. That's my first read, but really what my goal is to try to hit this route right here in that little spot. He's actually going to fall in a spot, and defenders are not going to play it against cover 3. So if they've got any kind of zone coverages that they have to take care of, I'll go ahead and jump into that. So let's just go ahead and watch. Brown gets in a little sweet spot. I'm pass leading off to the left to try to get away from that defender, and it doesn't seem to be working. We're going to try this one more time, and then we'll move on to the next play. All right, so just inside zone right there that you can hit. This is really good against somebody that's running a lot of floating coverages where they're doing over the top stuff. You can use bingo. I'm looking at this play. There's nothing about this play I really like, but you got an underneath mesh concept that you can use against your opponent. So this will allow you to attack your opponent off to the left, where the previous play you would not attack that, and you're basically pushing up the zones over the top. Stick spacing is another play that I like to go ahead and use, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do curl routes. This is good against man and zone coverages, but what this does is it opens up the coverages a little bit more where you can hit that little space shot right there. So that's what I like about that. I like having that play into my scheme. I don't run it a lot, but it is something that you can use to basically find little spots that you can go and attack your opponent where you can get an easy 10 yards. So let's go ahead and jump into cover 4 beaters now. Hey Patron, so guys, here's the cover 4 version of this. We're going to be running match coverages and basically kind of identifying cover 4. So when I see cover 4, really it's, you're going to have like 4 high shell. Guys are off like 7 yards, 8 yards off the ball, but look at the inside slot defender. He's actually slid inside of Watkins. So one of the things I like to do is use this play, which essentially is going to be sail dig. And I'm going to look for Watkins on the outside. If the defender bites, you can get yourself a touchdown. So really what I'm looking for is the shading of the guy on the inside with sail dig. Watch how sometimes this route actually gets uncovered, and when that gets uncovered, you're actually going to hit that. But if you play against a guy that plays palms, this will get poached by cover 4. So I've got the inside shade. See how he poaches? Then all you got to do is just lob the ball up because the other defender is really out of position, and you can have a shot where you can get a one-play touchdown. So let's just go ahead and jump into this. Here's a press look. And with the press look, obviously you can go ahead and take a shot up top because that was a press palms type coverage. So I can actually go and hit that route for some big plays. Another thing I've noticed too is the play action read. I like to go ahead and run the play like so. I streak up the tight end, and a lot of times what happens is that whip route won't get covered. with certain types of cover 4 coverages. So what I'll do is look to that, and if the defender slides and plays it correctly, I'll just go ahead and do the deep comeback route because I'll actually have some leverage on that. So it's a really good play to go and jump into. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit it again. We'll streak this guy up. Let's watch if we get the free release. Okay, so this is what happens a lot of times is that route actually gets broken down. For some reason, the cover 4 match type coverages, the guys don't carry. So let's do instant replay. And I'll watch this guy right here. And if this guy doesn't carry, I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to pick up good 15 yards because there's no defenders in the area. And it's just an easy completion. If the defender slides out and plays this and falls into this zone, this should be wide open at the deep comeback route. So that's just a play I like to go and use. You could use this cover 3 beater setup that I've showed you guys before. And, you know, basically, you know, it's not the best play. You could check it down. I would say you probably want to use those other 2 plays for your cover 4 beaters. Outs is a really good play to go and use against your opponent if he's running a lot of cover 4. And the reason why is defenders have to play the inside seam, and this you can actually hit each of the out routes against your opponent. So here you go. We'll go ahead and streak this guy up right here, and you can see this guy's on an island by himself. It's like man coverage. You just go ahead and come back to the out routes and play that. Another play that I like to go and use against basically cover 4 is going to be this play, which essentially is going to be the play action cross. And how I like to set this up is I like to go ahead and take the outside receiver or the outside tight end and actually put him on an out route. Sometimes against cover 4 he doesn't get covered, and I'm going to throw that because I can rack that and pick up an easy first down, or at least 5 or 6 yards depending on the position of the ball. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So here, set this up, and I do a deep comeback route because then it basically has, you know, 3 unstoppable routes. I've got the deep comeback route. On the sideline, he actually has to defend, but I've also got that crossing route that is going to be very difficult to defend too. So let's see if we can hit the deep crossing route. Let's set this up. We'll see if we can hit the deep crossing route. See how he's got leverage. And there's no really defender that's in the area. That's a bad pass, but you can see I'm able to get a big completion right there. Against cover 4, I don't really use this play, but you know, mesh concept is just like such a money concept. You just check it down underneath like so. We can streak up the one wide receiver with mesh concept and set it up like that. And that should actually take your defender and put him vertically, and then put this guy vertically so you can actually hit him over the top, and you got basically a free zone underneath. Another thing you do with mesh, if you're playing against a guy who plays a lot of cover 4, is you could take the outside receiver and actually put him on a basically an out route. And what this does is it opens up this corner route because he's going to get over that safety that's going to be kind of out of position. So you can get yourself a big play against anybody who runs a lot of cover 4 against you. So that's what's cool about that. Another play we'll use would be like Z spot. And really what I'm doing when I'm running Z spot is I'm still just attacking on the inside. So I want to try to check it down. Obviously you can get poached, but the dig above it will be available. So let's just go ahead and show you how you want to hit that dig above it, which is going to be brown. So let's go ahead and see how you hit that. And yeah, it looks like this play pretty much, this is not a very good play to go ahead and use against like these cover 4 type coverages. So you probably want to stay away from that. Let's take a look at shallow cross. Defender should be pulling up. So Watkins' route should be just money. And you can see right there, just a quick play to go and jump into against anybody that runs a lot of cover 4 against you. And then let's see here, he's got another cover 4. You probably could use bingo. This is going to basically open up that tight end on the back side. You've also got guys that are pressing over the side, but you can see matching principles, just like a mesh concept you can quickly jump into. So these are some plays I'd use against cover 4, but what's cool about, what's not good about cover 4 is that it has weaknesses. It's not necessarily the best defense defense to use. unless you understand your passing responsibilities, you make adjustments. But that's how I'll jump into plays like Mills and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do a write-up for you guys, just to kind of give you an idea of like how I'd run this. But I've been running this playbook, and I really do like a lot of this game. So once again, thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.